In this moment, 5 teams to win the title. One of them will be champion. One of them will not even qualify to Champions League. So 2 years ago, Man City champion, Man United out of Champions League. Last year, Chelsea champion and Liverpool out of Champions League. And next season, somebody will be champion, somebody will be outside the Champions League.
Well, it's been a long wait, but it's finally here. Can Chelsea successfully retain their title? No doubt the two Manchester clubs will have something to say about that. This is the BeanBagSports Podcast. I'm Dave O'Grady. We're delighted to be joined by the man who's bringing sexy back into football. He's starred for Liverpool, Spurs, West Ham, among others, and indeed is an ex-England international. Neil Razor Ruddock, thanks a million for joining us on the BeanBagSports Podcast.
How you doing? I'm excited like yourself. It's been a long wait.
It sure has. It's finally arrived. The Premier League is back. Razor, how much have you missed it, and what were you doing with yourself without all that football?
Well, I've been watching loads of golf, watching loads of cricket. So at the minute, it's been quite exciting. There's nothing like football, as you say. You know, I miss me bet every Saturday afternoon. That's the most thing. That's the thing I miss most about the football as well.
The media kind of kept us entertained, Razor. You know, it was a summer of scandals off the field. No doubt you got up to a little bit of mischief yourself in your day off season. What was the most outrageous and funny things that happened to you or a teammate? Can you remember?
Oh, we used to. I mean, it's not like nowadays. I think, you know, the players train themselves in the summer. I mean, as soon as the last game of the season, as soon as the final whistle went, that was us. We normally went to Marbella Airport, and there was about 20 of us. You know, we'd have 2 weeks out there. I'd put on about a stone, and then I'd worry about the dreaded pre-season. You know, it's a lot different now, but the shenanigans we got up to, I don't think that the players of nowadays would be able to. I think their managers would be on them, and they'd all be getting fined 2 weeks' wages when they returned to training at stone and a half overweight.
Yeah, and with everybody having a phone, and you know they have a little media machine, it can be up on Twitter, and it can be around the world, and you'll be famous without knowing within the matter of minutes.
Well, yeah, well, no, I'd love to be karaoke as well, so I could have been a pop star if they'd have seen me, you know, down the Vegas Strip or anywhere like that when in the summer rookies, doing me Neil Diamond, you never know, or me Tom Jones, I could have made another career.
Yeah, the record companies would have been lining themselves up. There's been a good few transfers this summer. The big one, of course, Razor, being Raheem Sterling from your old club Liverpool to Manchester City. What do you make of it? I know a lot of people feel that he didn't leave the club in the right way.
Yeah, I think so. You know, at the end of the day, I think he's a young lad, and I think he's been advised wrongly. I think his advisors have been the way they've handled it, and you know, they don't get a bad name. It's the lad himself that gets the bad name. So I think at the end of the day, he's got to realise that agents and advisors work for him. He doesn't work for them, you know. And I think the more experience he does as a player, I think he'll understand that. You know, I was very bitter and twisted at the time and said we should get rid of him, you know, but. You know, a lot of water's come under the bridge. You know, he's gone to another club, and hopefully it does well for him. Liverpool made some great signings. They've got a lot of money. And, hopefully, Brendan Rodgers will spend it wisely. I think the only problem is, you know, a lot of these players need bedding in. They need a bit of time to get to the pace of the Premiership. And unfortunately, Liverpool's start of the season is a crazy one, and they ain't going to have time. So I think we don't want excuses that Liverpool have a bad start, and they use that excuse that the players need a bit of time to bed in.
You joked with us before, Razor, saying that if Sterling was around during your day, he'd certainly have his legs booted off him at training. What is your opinion of the modern day footballers? Do you think it's become just so much about the money?
Well, you know, at the end of the day, you can't blame the player for earning too much money. You know, I blame the people that give it to him.
Yeah.
You understand? It's, if you're offered all this money, you can understand him going to a team like Manchester City. You know, for me, there's only 3 teams that, you can beat. The Liverpool, City, obviously Chelsea and Manchester United, who are going for Champions League spots. I mean, so, you can understand that they going to a team like City. If you'd have gone for a lesser team for more money, then you could say it's all about the money. But I think, as a career, it's not long. He has bettered himself at the moment. just hopefully City win nothing next year and Liverpool win anything, and they do end his face that way.
Yeah, indeed, that's certainly a way of karma, I suppose, coming back to...
I very much doubt it, but you can always dream.
You're a Spurs man, and Harry Kane is no longer the surprise package of the Premier League. How do you think he's going to deal with the extra attention that he's going to get this season?
Well, I think, he was a new kid on the block, and people didn't realise that the way he played. I think... especially Chelsea, when he scored, I think did he get a hat-trick or two against John Terry, 1-5, 5-3, 5-2 and starting it, just after Christmas. I think central defenders, I've seen him and learned how to play against him. I don't think he'll get the 30 goals again this season. He didn't really have a season. He was only sort of 3 quarters of the season that played. So, but I think this is a tough test for him. I think he is a great player. He's an outstanding player. He scores goals, and I think a lot of Tottenham fans love him because he works hard, Dave. He chases back like the old Ian Rush of the olden days. They say, defence starts from the attack. When he loses the ball, he doesn't sort of do the Ronaldo thing and try and blame everyone else and stick his hands up in the air. He chases back and tries to win the ball back. So I think that's a good attitude. But I think it'll be a tough season for him. I can't see him score as many goals as he did last year because defenders have cottoned on to it. But he's going to be a great player, especially for England as well. So, exciting. Years to come that he win number 9 for England. He's
had quite a good pre-season as well. He's scored a few nice goals. One club that I know you won't say they're your favourites, but Arsenal, they've signed Petr Cech and many...
Well, them. I like to call them them.
Okay, them. They've signed Petr Cech, and I know a lot of Gunners fans feel that this year is their season to make a title challenge. Would you give them any chance, and how would you feel if they did win the league? You'd probably bury your head in the sand, I'd imagine.
No, not really. I'm a football fan at the end of the day. It's just rivalry, though. I don't like them much because being, I'm a Spurs and Liverpool fan, really, and Millwall. So they're my teams. I'm a football fan, and they're my dark horses. They're my dark horses. I might have a little outside. He can play better than them because the way they play, if they get it right, I think they can beat anyone.
Yeah.
But I think it's the problem with them is with injuries. I think Wilshire's out for a while now as well, so I think if they lose a few of their top players, I don't think they can compete with the higher end of the Premiership. If they all stay fit, they've got a great chance.
Be interesting to see how that great attacking talent gel together. Looking at the bottom of the Premier League, I guess with the likes of Bournemouth, Watford and Norwich coming up, and it seems like the relegation battle's getting even more competitive every year. Who do you think's going to struggle, and who's your money on to go down?
Well, I think there's a few of them. I think, the transfer market's gone wild. I think even the teams, that are normally down there, I think they bought well. The West Broms, people like that, they bought well. The Palaces, even though they're a good run, I think the Palace, a new manager come in that saved them. The second season with a new manager is always hardest for me. But I think they've all bought well. So I think it's going to be tough for the 3 teams. Can Bournemouth play that beautiful football that they did to get promoted in such style all season? So that's going to be a tough one for them. Watford, I don't know too much about Watford. New managers come in. I don't know too much. Norwich, good young manager. Norwich is always a tough place to go and play when I play. So I think it's going to be tough. But, the way the football is, I think it's only a couple of times that all 3 have come, the 3 teams that have come up. It's very rarely that all 3 go back down. So they'll be looking at that. They'll be looking at the stats, and I'm sure they will fancy. But I would like to say I'm a betting man, but I'm not going to bet who's the 3 are going to go down just yet.
Okay, you're going to...
Ask me at Christmas, I'll tell you.
Yeah, it's a good time to make a decision.
I think they've all got to start well. Whoever starts well, I remember years ago Blackpool come up. I think they was top of the league, and I think they only just stayed up by a couple of points, so it's all about the start.
You're quite a good pundit yourself, Razor, and all the media are back now. We've got Sky and Setanta and ITV, and everybody's back, the punditry is back. Is there anyone in particular that you enjoy watching? Does the likes of Gary Neville float your boat?
Yeah, I was surprised Gary Neville, one of the Neville sisters. I didn't really get on with him back in the day, but I'm very surprised that when he doesn't. Jamie Carragher, I can understand him. I've known Carragher for about 30 years now, and I've never understood him. When he on telly puts his posh voice on, I can understand him. I think Souness is my favourite. I think he says how it is. I think he talks sense. He's got a wealth of experience. So I like to listen to Steve Nash. I think he's great on the telly.
Yeah, he is. I think a lot of people agree with you.
Plus, he bought me for Liverpool, so he must know. He must know football.
He must know some things, all right. You mentioned ex-Man United man Gary Neville there, and United have obviously strengthened quite a bit. The likes of Schweinsteiger, Schneiderlin, Memphis Depay coming in, Di Maria out. Do you think United now can be considered as realistic title challengers?
Well, I think this is a big season for Van he's got his own. He's took the season to bed in. He's got his own team now. He made a mistake with Di Maria. So I don't think he's got any more excuses left. I think they'll have a great season. It's a breath of fresh air last season. Whenever people were beating Manchester United, they weren't wiping the floor. Everyone had a chance. Everyone thought they had a chance against them, which some teams did. But I think they'll bounce back. Massive club, massive fan base. Obviously, a magnificent manager, Giggsy there. He knows the ins and outs of the football club. So I think this is a big season for him, and I'm sure they'll fly into the Champions League places without a shadow of a doubt next season.
And your old club, Liverpool, of course. I seen Phil Thompson. He predicted a starting lineup for the Liverpool team to play Stoke at the weekend. And I was looking at it. He was playing kind of three supporting, attacking midfielder players. And I was thinking to myself that it is a very skillful, technical team. And what would you say the genuine aim for Brendan Rodgers should be this season? And what do you think Liverpool fans would be happy? Obviously they want to get back into that Champions League.
Well, I think Liverpool fans, as long as they're contenders for the Champions League, they're not sort of in 8th place with 5 games to go, then sort of win the last 2 and miss out by 5th point. As long as they're around the top 4, they're contending to get into top 4, have a good cup run. You can see the improvement. You see the passion back on the field. So, last year for me, there was not a lot of passion on the field, and Liverpool fans expect that. So 3 things for me: passion. They've got to be more passionate on the field. They've got to be contending to get in the top 4. There and thereabouts all season, have a nice cup run. I think that's a great aim for Liverpool Football Club this season.
Fantastic stuff, Razor. Just before we let you go, can you give us your top 4 teams for the season? Obviously, Chelsea and City are probably going to be up there, but you never know. Your old guys, Spurs, might spring a trick.
Yeah, no, I don't think Spurs have got enough. Still, for me, I think if my heart says that Liverpool will be in it, but my head says that it's going to be Chelsea, City, Arsenal, Manchester United, and Liverpool just missing out. But I'd love Liverpool to be in it.
Indeed. Well, it's great that the football is back, Razor. It's great to have you on the BeanBag Sports Podcast. We hope that you thoroughly enjoy the first weekend of the Premier League, and we look forward to chatting to you as the weeks go on. Thanks a million.
No problem. See you soon, hopefully. And everybody, get your bets on BeanBag Sports and other punts, and let's see your accumulators lose like they do for me every week.
Well, he's some man for one man. That was Neil Razor Ruddock talking to us there. Don't forget, you can subscribe to the BeanBag Sports Podcast by just searching BeanBag Sports on iTunes. It's as simple as that. I'm Dave O'Grady. We'll chat to you soon.